Okay, just a little preview here of a design that I'm currently working on. I'm kind of getting closer to the, I don't know, my final version of this. I've been working on it for about 2 weeks now. I don't know why I start on these things that are so, I don't know, these designs that are rather complex. Well, I guess I know why, because I want to use something like this in my scene, so the only way to do that is to render it, and I don't know, getting it right has been a real kind of endeavor. And this is supposed to be kind of a foreground element that has a lot of kind of leading eye types of things. If you've seen this video on kind of visual lead-ins, that's what this one's about. I've done foreground elements like this in the past with like rocks or a rock structure or a ledge or something like that, but it's usually a horizontal configuration. I have kind of the rocks laid out where it's kind of a horizontal configuration as far as the lines go, but on this one right here I wanted things to kind of lead you into the scene a little bit more, and how much perspective to lay down on this type of thing, and how to create these different elements where it's not so similar across this entire element right here has been a real I don't know, kind of mystery on how to do that, and how to not make it too different up here on the top, so that, you know, if someone wants to mask this off, it's going to be an easy mask job. But I foresee a lot of things like, I don't know, figures up here, you can put a house up here, or any type of thing like that, and some trees and whatnot. You can put, it could be a sea type of scape out here, it could be trees in the background, but everything like this is kind of leading your eye into the scene like this to make it really dramatic. And also, trying to make it look where it's not such a forced perspective, where this can't be something that's 3 feet from, you know, here, and, you know, the distance between here and here could be 3 feet. But I can also put, you know, large, tall tree here and a really small one in the background, and this could be, you know, 100 yards back here or something like that. So trying to make it as universal as possible is the real key to a design like this, and to make it universally applicable, you know, in a lot of different settings. I'm trying to grade it a lot, where you can get a lot of detail on in the your impression, okay, but not filling it up so much where it can't be blended in with itself by repeating it over and over, or blending in with its sibling designs. So anyways, real challenge here. What I'm doing right now is I'm kind of adding in like little types of elements like this, and trying to figure out the shading. You know, it's always one of those things where you want to shade just enough to where, you know, you take a lot of the work out of it for us stampers, and I count myself a user of these stamps as well as a designer of it. So you want to get it just right to where, you know, it says just enough, or it says the most that it can, without leaving, you know, without taking out the element of variation that we, as the stampers, want to be able to apply and alter depending on what type of setting we are creating. So very universal rocks are one of those things that I love doing, and it's always kind of hard to get them right in terms of creating the different volumes. This is kind of a shale rock type of thing, you know, with these lines coming down like that, so you want it to be kind of a broken type of thing, but you don't want them all to be so square that there's, you know, it looks, I don't know, everything looks kind of muffled and soft. So I'm getting those types of things right. So you want it to look really natural, and when you're doing something like this, you want to be able to color it in and leave enough areas up here for the artist and stamper to be able to create all kinds of different little highlights and whatnot, and to know if they want to add in some shadows, where to do that by laying in some deeper set tones a la line art, which is, you know, your little dot pen like this. This is a technical pen, Rotring technical pen. And getting it just so. This is the part that I really love doing from the designs, though. This part up here was a real hassle in terms of getting it right, and this rock right here I worked on forever, but I really love going on and adding in these little deeper shadows here and there, and to, I don't know, just to really model it just right, and kind of the final touches is usually kind of a grading of it, in terms of, you know, creating depth through these shadows and whatnot, and adding in those little tiny textures that can make all the difference, you know, when it comes to kind of defining forms on you know, these are all two-dimensional designs or surfaces that we're working on, but you want it to look as three-dimensional as possible and textured, so that when someone stamps it out, they are stamping out something that's really, you know, attempts to be as true to the forms that they are representing and as spectacular as possible, so that, you know, we can get what we're going for in the initial impressions, you know, in terms of composition, and then all of the artisanship and you know, the variation comes in with the stamper's preferences in terms of what colors they choose to do it, what time of day, what type of setting, you know, and all that is left to them. But you want to start them off with something as close to I don't know, kind of realized in terms of the designs as possible, to give everyone a good head start. So anyways, there you go. Leading, I have no idea what the name of this will be, but kind of getting there.